Hello everyone, this is Samar Faris, and today I'll be presenting our recent research, Attack to Defend, exploiting adversarial attacks for detecting poison models. Poisoning attacks enable an adversary to train and deploy a corrupted machine learning model, which typically works well and achieves good accuracy on clean input samples, but behaves maliciously on poisoned samples containing a specific trigger patterns. It's a common practice among machine learning practitioners to leverage third-party data sets, use pre-trained models, or completely outsource the model training to a third party. However, these approaches may introduce a vulnerability called backdoor attack. In this work, we propose a simple yet effective method for detecting poison models by examining their behavior under adversarial attacks. The A2D framework generates strong adversarial attacks against the reference model and props the target model using the generated attacks. And we propose a new metric called sensitivity to adversarial perturbations to quantify the sensitivity of an ML model to adversarial attacks at a specific perturbation bound. In poisoning attacks, a poisoned model is learned by corrupting a fraction or a poisoning rate of training set samples, and the adversary goal is that the training samples that are poisoned should be classified as the target label, and this can be achieved by minimizing the following objective function. And to avoid detection, the clean accuracy must be high. So by solving this objective, the adversary ensures both high clean accuracy on clean samples and high attack success rate where the poisoning training samples are classified as the adversary target label. While poisoning attacks are training time attacks, on the other hand, adversarial attacks are inference time attacks, where the adversarial input can be obtained by solving the following constraint optimization problem. The objective function in the optimization problem aims to maximize the model's loss with respect to the true label y for the adversarial input x plus r, where r denotes the adversarial perturbation. The connection between both attacks that poison models are more sensitive to adversarial samples compared to the benign counterparts. In this work, we consider an adversary who aims to stealthily deploy a poison model, and the defender goal, and given only black box access to the target model, is to determine if the given target model is benign or poisoned. And we assume that the defender has access to a small clean set, which can be a subset of the original training set of the target model or an independent data set from drawn or sampled from the same distribution. And we assume that the defender has zero knowledge of the target model architecture and the attack characteristics. Our A2D framework consists of 3 steps. The first one is reference model learning, and the defender first picks a reference model architecture, which need not to be the same as the target model, and learns the reference model parameters theta on the small subset of clean samples. Then the defender does adversarial sensitivity evaluation of the reference model, and in this step the goal is to generate strong adversarial samples that are highly likely to fool the reference model. The strength of an adversarial attack is primarily determined by the robust accuracy. So the defender can calculate the sensitivity to adversarial perturbations SAP of the reference model, which is defined by the relative reduction in accuracy caused by the adversarial samples generated using a specific perturbation bound epsilon. Then the defender can prop the target model using input samples from the clean and the adversarial sets obtained from the previous step, and he calculates the clean and robust accuracy values of the target model. Based on these accuracies, the defender can estimate if the target model is poisoned or benign. Since poison models are expected to have higher adversarial sensitivity than the benign model, the estimated SAP value can be directly used as a measure for detecting poisoned samples. The target model is detected as Trojan if its SAP value is greater than the decision threshold. It's worth highlighting that the Poisson model detector in the proposed A2D framework requires only black box access to the target model. Performance comparison of the A2D approach against other state-of-the-art Poisson model detectors is summarized in this table. The results clearly show that the proposed method outperforms the SOTA by a significant margin on almost all the attacks across the three datasets. While many methods achieve good detection accuracy for the simple modify and blend attacks, their performance drops substantially when encountering more sophisticated attacks such as 1ET, IAD, LC-SIG, and ISS, highlighting their poor generalizability to new or unseen attacks. The performance metrics of many baseline methods vary widely across datasets. To evaluate the impact of reference model architecture, we consider three architectures: ResNet, React ResNet 18, and VGG 16, and use all possible combinations of these architectures for target and reference models. Interestingly, our findings in this table indicate that the architecture of the reference model itself doesn't significantly affect the detection accuracy. While the detection accuracy is marginally higher in cases where the reference model architecture is the same as the target model architecture, good detection accuracy can also be achieved in the black box scenario when the two architectures are different. We investigated the impact of various sample size parameters on the A2D method, and the detailed results are presented in this table. We observed that changing the size of the clean set from 2% to 5% of the training set had little impact on accuracy and epsilon values. However, the number of samples used for the adversarial attack did have some impact on the detection accuracy. Specifically, a minimum of 100 attack samples is required for reliable Poisson model detection. We evaluated the effect of trigger transparency, visibility, and spatial size of the trigger on detection accuracy. The results in this table show that the Poisson models are detectable irrespective of the trigger size and visibility. If the attacker knows that a specific defense mechanism is employed, can an additional objective be added to the poisoning attack to achieve high accuracy and attack success rate as well as fool the defense mechanism? In this experiment, we investigated whether the adversary can generate a Poisson model that is also adversarially robust. By incorporating an additional adversarial loss term during training to reduce the adversarial sensitivity of the model, in addition to minimizing the loss of clean and poisoned samples. The results shown in this figure shows the infeasibility of increasing vulnerability to poison attacks, while maintaining a low adversarial sensitivity. Attempting to minimize the three losses, clean, poison, and adversarial together, leads to a substantial drop in attack success rate. This is due to the conflicting objectives of poisoning attacks and adversarial training. In conclusion, we have presented the A2D approach for detecting poison DNN models, which leverage the increased vulnerability of poison models to adversarial attacks. We have demonstrated the generalizability of our method across data sets, attacks, and models, especially in the black box scenario. As the majority of existing methods, our approach also needs a limited set of clean samples. Thank you.